Hey, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and I've got 5 bands for fans of Mastodon. And hey, if you like to be kept up to date with the best and brightest metal bands and albums from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. First up, we've got Scientist. This is a Chicago-based band here to satiate those disappointed by Mastodon's last few albums. Scientist possess these same technical, progressive song structures while bringing back the raging fury of Leviathan and Blood Mountain. The gruff, lumberjack vocals sound like they were directly ripped from forgotten early B-sides. I know I've made complaints recently about Mastodon singing on their last album, but I didn't realize just how much I missed the old approach until I listened to Chokhmah Binah off of their 2018 album Barbelith. This is clearly the second coming with a little Tool influence thrown in for good measure. And the buck don't stop at the vocals. Oh no, the instrumentation on this album is top-notch. The spiraling riffs are enough to make one motion sick. Whether grooving out of control or getting down and dirty with massive doom chords, the vibrations are inescapable. But if the guitars are big, the drums are even bigger. Justin Cape's work here is easily one of the best of 2018, and it adds so much organic texturing to the already dynamic proceedings. He commands the kit like he's fucking Vishnu, or Goro for that matter.
Goro wins. Fatality.
Next, we have Atlanta quintet Irist. Another band bringing back the heaviness of Mastodon's earlier days, Irist have a similar penchant for progressive songwriting and sludgy heaviness, albeit one that is a little more in-your-face and straight to the point. When the band goes hard, their sound is absolutely crushing. It's walls of distortion, howling screams, and a combination of Blood Mountain-esque riffs mixed with more modern djenty leads. But Irist shake things up with more melodic outings that have a singing style with an uncanny resemblance to Fear Factory's Burton C. Bell. Severed off of their 2020 album Order of the Mind is a great example of this, also throwing in some sludge vibes for good measure. Irist brings a thrilling combo of early Mastodon nostalgia with a heavier modern twist. There's definitely still some room for growth, but even so, you should not miss out on this breakout album. Then we have Vancouver band Bushwhacker. While I was initially and quite unfairly put off by their band name, this band is proof once more of never judging a book by its cover. Bushwhacker is a massively talented group of musicians that can play a variety of different styles as evidenced on albums like The False Dilemma and A Fistful of Poison. Listen to tracks on the former like Dead Man's Waltz and Perfection for the most overt Mastodon flair. Bushwhacker take their time on these to show a sludgier side with a touch of Minsk or even Tool. The production is weighed down by perfect levels of reverb with repetitious riffs that first sound like braving storm waves and then later dive deeper under the water. And much like Scientist, I feel the drumming here deserves its own distinct praise. Holy Neil Peart's Batman, this guy is an animal.
Oh God, there is no fucking drummer better than Neil Peart!
It is something that is so impossible to ignore that every time I listen, my fingers are compelled as if by some spirit to tap out the ever-changing rhythms. His style matches the variety of Rush with the intensity and speed of Chris Adler. There's an almost tribal element to a lot of the snare hits too. Fabulous work all around. Also out of Vancouver, we have Astrakhan. I first caught wind of this band back in 2016 with Reward in Purpose, with even more of a Tool slant than perhaps any other band on this list, but they followed this up with the even stronger Without New Growth Process is Bloodshed in 2018. The track Dominion in particular is a great place to start as it really sets the tone for their impressive fusion of progressive, sludge, and post-metal with memorable hooks, tight performances, and moody atmosphere. Cutting Teeth is another solid recommendation that features great earworm bass lines and just an overall fantastic progression. Expect yourself to be immersed in the overall journey thanks to their admirable pacing and dynamic range, not to mention the often Maynard-like vocals from Dustin Toth. Whether going full steam ahead or exploring more expansive territory as with the psychedelic and string-laden A Change Begins, Astrakhan is nothing short of captivating. Finally, Seattle band Into the Storm fuses elements of Baroness and Mastodon with Pelican and Gojira. In fact, when Into the Storm start ripping things up on the first track Truck Van Trailer of their 2016 album Where the Merfalo Roam, I had to check to make sure that it wasn't Joe Duplantier supplying these screams, albeit still with that trademark Mastodon layer of gruffness. Meanwhile, the guitars present the perfect balance of earth-shaking sludgy power chords, reverb-heavy post-metal meandering, and shifting tectonic plates of progressive, always building towards an explosive climax. Into the Storm are heavy enough to do some spinal damage, accessible enough to warrant radio play, and creative enough to deserve attention above the rest of the pack. If you're looking for some other tracks to start with, also check out Maths and Ghostmaker. And that's it, y'all. 5 bands that you should enjoy if you are a fan of the band Mastodon. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite, who I left out, and who else maybe I should check out in this progressive metal genre. Also, stick around because I got plenty more videos coming right after this one. I actually have a whole series of these for fans of bands like videos. I just did one for Opeth, I've got one for the Black Dahlia Murder, Every Time I Die, the Dillinger Escape Plan. Also, I've got full album reviews for new releases, album tier lists for bands, and interviews with bands on the podcast, so plenty of reasons again to subscribe if you have not already. Also consider supporting us on Patreon. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.